What's going on, you guys? Steven from Airsoft Tech, and today I am bringing you guys what you guys have been asking me to do. So my last video, if you haven't seen that, boom, that is the thumbnail. Anyways though, that was the Airsoft Junkies unboxing video, which you guys now know what I'm doing to my KR12. I bought the Wolverine Inferno Gen 2 and we are going to be testing it and installing it. So this is my KR12. However, as you guys can see, I've already went ahead and installed the Wolverine Inferno Gen 2 into the gun. However, I'm going to take everything apart again and disassemble it, and I'm going to reinstall the Wolverine Inferno Gen 2 because that's what you guys wanted to see. You guys want to see me do some tech work, and I will finally be bringing that to you guys. So the setup that I kind of have planned for this video is I'm going to say what we're going to be doing like step by step. However, while I'm doing it, that's going to be fast forward so we can cut back on some time, and I'm going to make sure, I'm going to try my best to have this video not be super long and just, you know, get to the meat of the video and you guys can see how to install. And then once we're done installing it, we will go ahead and test fire this bad boy, which I know is what you guys want to see the most. PS, I've already tested this bad boy and it's amazing. So I went ahead and moved the camera. You guys are now currently looking at the body of my KR12. I have a whole bunch of tools set over there off camera. However, right now I'm just going to disassemble the entire gun and I'm going to fast forward through everything. So let me go ahead and get started on that. Alright, so really quickly, I just stopped the fast forwarding because I went ahead and took the upper receiver off. Here is the Wolverine Inferno Gen 2 in the gun. As you guys can see, it is super nice, just like so. It feeds absolutely flawlessly. The rate of fire is really nice. FPS, you can obviously go ahead and adjust it. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like while it's in the gearbox. But let me go ahead and continue taking this whole thing apart. Alright, before we move forward, I went ahead and took the gearbox out of the lower receiver, and you guys are probably wondering, that is not a stock KWA selector plate. Well, let me talk a little bit more about this when we're going ahead and installing the Wolverine Inferno Gen 2. So just forget about this right now. Don't worry, I will explain everything, but I'm just going to go ahead and continue to go ahead and take apart the gearbox. Alright, so that is basically what it looks like. I have the trigger board in with the little screw with the wire harness connected to the solenoid and the trigger board, and then I have the little line connected to the engine itself, and then we have the wire harness running out of the back. As you saw, it was out of the buffer tube, and then the line would just simply go through the pistol grip just like so. However, I'm going to take apart everything and reinstall it. Alright, so that is everything, you guys. The gearbox is completely clean. There is nothing in either side. However, there's only a few things that you need from your gearbox when installing the Wolverine Inferno Gen 2. First one being the screw that holds the trigger board into place. Don't worry, every gearbox AEG has this screw, so don't worry, that comes with your gun. So you can't lose that. You're also going to need your safety, which is right here, just that thing right there. And on the other side, you're going to need your selector plate. Anyways though, so once you have your gearbox like this, you have the few parts that you need, from your stock gearbox, and you take everything else out. Then you're left with this. Let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and install your trigger board. Just like so. Next, what you can do is go ahead and install your entire Inferno Gen 2 into your gearbox. Just go ahead and move that back just a little bit so it actually sits in the gearbox. That would be nice. There we go. And if you guys are wondering, Steven, why didn't you go ahead and disconnect that? Honestly, that is in there. I have not been able to take that out, so I'm just going to leave that into the solenoid. But yeah, so that piece connects into the solenoid, and this bottom piece right here connects into the trigger board itself. So you're just going to want to go ahead and plug that bad boy in. So it clicks in, and it's a really, pronounced click sound, so don't worry, once you hear that, you're good. You don't have to just jam it in there. And also this little line here that comes out of the motor grip, you're going to want to go ahead and screw that into the engine itself. Here, I'll get a little close up. So right there, that little piece right there, you just go ahead and twist it in. You're going to want to get a little wrench, and you're just going to go ahead and put it on there and just twist. This one's actually a little too big, but yeah, you're going to need a little wrench and twist it. You don't have to over tighten it. With anything that you're doing with this type of project, you guys, and when you're installing this, you don't have to over tighten a hell of a lot because there's not a lot of stress on the gearbox anymore. Anyways though, so once you have this, you have everything lined up. Now you're going to want to go ahead and put your trigger and your trigger spring back in, and this is a complete hassle, so let me go ahead and fast forward this. This time it actually wasn't that bad to go ahead and install it, and I didn't even have to take the safety off. If you're struggling to go ahead and put the trigger back in with the trigger spring, because it can be a hassle, just go ahead and take the safety out. You know, just that one little screw there, you unscrew it. There's a little spring, so make sure you don't lose the spring, and then there's a other piece on the bottom side. So there's 3 total pieces, 2 plastic pieces, a spring, well actually 4, and a screw. And you can go ahead and take that out, and then it's easier to go ahead and install the trigger with the trigger spring, because this really isn't blocking your view. And the biggest thing is you want to make sure none of your wires are getting pinched. So none of these wires here, make sure this isn't coming in contact with the trigger. It's not, you know, interfering with anything. And what you're going to want to do is just line all the wires up and get everything settled in. So what I tend to do is, I've seen this on the installation video from Wolverine Airsoft. What you do is you take the green and yellow wires and go ahead and put them through the section right here underneath the metal casing for the big wire. You know, the wire that connects into the solenoid. First go ahead and wire that up and then into this little crevice right here, and then go ahead and put this on top because it's thicker and it will cover the little skinny wires, and you know, everything will stay in place. Meanwhile, nothing is getting pinched, everything is good, and then you just have your line right here that is going to run out of the motor grip. And guys, that is really it. So we have the safety still installed, we have the trigger still installed with the trigger spring, we have the trigger board installed, we have everything connected, wiring that is, and everything is set as it's supposed to, and then we have the little line here coming out of the motor grip. And this is it, you guys. That is all you have to do. It is super simple. You don't have to do a lot of work. The biggest thing that you're probably going to struggle with is just disassembling your whole M4, getting to the gearbox, and then making sure you don't lose any of the screws. Alright, and lastly, we have the buffer tube adapter right here. So what you want to do is you're just going to go ahead and install it just like so. Anyways though, let's just go ahead and close the gearbox up. Make sure, again, no wires are being pinched. That is the single most important thing. And go ahead and just take the top piece and go ahead and put it on just like so, and boom, you are done. Now you just have to screw everything in. All right, so I went ahead and screwed all the top screws in. The only screws I'm missing is the back one back here and the one all the way at the front here. I guess I could go ahead and screw those in, but I don't know, I'm just lazy, and for the sake of the video, I'm not. However, what I want to cover now is the selector plate. I told you guys I wanted to go ahead and talk about that when we get to that part of the video. But anyways, so this is not the stock KWA selector plate. If you guys can see here, let's see if my camera focuses. Oh, beautiful. You see that little switch right there on the back? That is what's actually going to make your gun go into full auto. So this is safe. Ready? You cannot pull the trigger, and then just a little bit, just like so, this will be semi-automatic. And then once that little piece is covered, just like so, that is now full auto. So with the KWA, the stock selector plate, this piece right here, this end piece, was far too long, so there was no middle ground. So it was going from safe all the way to full auto, because this gap right here from safe and full auto, this little middle gap right here is semi, and this piece was too long, so it was engaging the little black switch right there. So when it was covered, it goes right from safe to full auto, and that is not okay. So I had to go ahead and modify it, and what I did was I went ahead and shaved too much of it down, so then it was too short and it was never reaching the black switch right here, which would never go into full auto. So it was only safe and semi. When I flipped it to full auto, it was still only shoot semi. So you always want to make sure that all the firing modes are actually working. So what I'm going to do right now actually is I'm going to go ahead and grab the FCU and the battery, and we're going to listen to what this sounds like. Hold on. Here we go. So this should be safe. Yep, nothing can happen. I'm pulling the trigger and it is stopping. Here is semi. Do you guys hear that? That is the solenoid going to work because of the battery. Obviously there's no air plugged in, so nothing can, you know, really move in there, but you can listen to it to make sure that the firing modes are actually working. So again, just take a quick listen. Just like so, and then full auto. Just like so. Semi. And then safe. Beautiful. So with the stock KWA selector plate, remember, as I said, it was safe, and then this piece was too long, so it was engaging that black switch, and it would go right to full auto, just like so. So there was no semi, which sucked. All right, so now everything works. All the firing mode works. Everything is in the gun. Everything is installed. We are ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward now, and we are going to be installing this back into my KWA lower. So there you have it, you guys. I went ahead and installed it back into the lower of the KWA. I went ahead and put on the end piece right here on the line, as you guys can see. There we go. And put everything back on. Every body pins in. Got the mag release and the mag catch working just as well. So everything on the lower is set, installed. now all we have to do is the 2 holes right there are the huge body pins and screws to go ahead and attach the upper receiver. However, before we go ahead and do that, let's go ahead and connect some air to this thing, and let's see this nozzle in action. You guys can see what it looks like when air is connected, and you know how the nozzle moves back and forth when you are firing. Alright, here we go. Safe, good, and semi. Here we go. Ready? Now, if you're wondering why it sounds so airy and so weak, remember, I have no freaking air in the tank, so it's barely working. I won't be surprised if when we flip it to full auto, if it just spews air out, because it basically has no air left to go ahead and push the nozzle. So here we go, semi again. And then full auto. That is so freaking cool. Semi again. And then safe. Perfect, everything works. And actually, just to give you guys one more, yeah, my phone is going off. Just to give you guys one more look. Safe. Semi. Full auto. Semi. And safe. So let's go ahead and put on the upper receiver. Oh wait, one more time. Let's go ahead and detach the line. Boom, pops right back out. Alright, so I apologize if this is a weird angle. However, I'm done. The upper receiver is connected with the lower receiver. Everything is installed. I did not forget anything. We are good to go. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into a little sneak peek for you guys, so you guys can actually see this thing in action. So let's go ahead and test it just a little bit. Alright, I know what you're thinking. Steven, you look absolutely ridiculous. I know, don't worry, that's what I was going for though. But yeah, so I'm wearing my helmet to get a GoPro angle, so when I'm holding the gun up, you guys can maybe get, you know, just a different angle for you guys. And then I'm gonna have this camera set up. I'm not exactly sure I'm gonna set this up yet. I'm gonna have to think about it. But anyways, I have the little multicam thing on my back, which has the tank and the regulator connected. Here is the line. Just got to go ahead and plug it in. But without further ado, let's go ahead and test fire this bad boy. Hell yeah. Woo. Woo. So there you have it, you guys. This is my new primary gun. This is, again, the KWA KR12 with the Wolverine Inferno Gen 2 installed. So this is now an HPA setup. I am super excited. I kind of like wearing this little backpack thing. It's kind of comfortable, and damn, my hair is super smushed down because of my helmet. Anyways though, I can't wait to go ahead and take this out on the field. I am looking really forward to it, and I'm almost done with school. I literally have like, I don't know, maybe like a week and 2 days left of school. I'm done next week basically, because that's when my finals actually are. So I'm preparing this week, finals next week, and then I'm done for 5 weeks. I am taking a winter course, but that shouldn't be too bad. But hopefully I'll be able to go out this winter, break 2 warp tops a lot, and maybe even strike airsoft Dutch. If you're watching this, I know we were planning on playing with each other, so maybe I can come out this winter. I'm really looking forward to that. Anyways though, here is one final look of the KR12. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. But anyways, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and smack that thumbs up button. And if you're new, go ahead and click the subscribe button down below. I would greatly appreciate both of those things. Anyways though, with all that being said, again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, but until next time, I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.